this afternoon. She wrote, "You weren't joking. You hide your misogyny and your racism behind your jokes on ABC. This was a dog whistle to the violent left to assault me or worse." And you're misspelled "you're," of course. Well, that's nice. She thinks I have fans. I guess that's good. But now listen, not only don't I condone death or any kind of threats against anyone, especially as I get dozens of them a week myself. Compute this woman, you may remember, she's the one who endorsed fringe conspiracy theories and repeatedly indicated support for executing prominent Democratic politicians. Now she's dialing 911 because she got made fun of.
The late-night air was thick with anticipation. Jimmy Kimmel walked onto his stage with the usual applause, but his face told a different story, something sharper, more focused. For weeks, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene had been escalating her feud with the comedian, trading barbs online, hurling accusations, and finally filing a formal complaint that Kimmel had threatened violence against her. In a twist that stunned both political observers and comedy fans, Greene took her grievance to the U.S. Capitol Police, demanding Kimmel be investigated and potentially arrested for what she called incitement.
If she's going to report me to the police, if that's how she wants to play it, I'll report you right back. And I won't go to the police. I'll go to the Justice League. Note to Jimmy Kimmel, not only would Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband make quick work of you, but Rep. MTG herself would make quick work of you. Kimmel would not last too long if he were interested in engaging in unprovoked, terrible violence against this congresswoman. Keep wearing a mask while Senator Cruz replied to this. That was not written to him. Bizarre. 535 members of Congress can attend the State of the Union without wearing masks. Still not good enough for Hollywood.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. The joke in question, a single sarcastic line from Kimmel's show referencing Will Smith's Oscars slap, delivered after MTG had once again publicly attacked her fellow Republicans. Kimmel said, "Where's Will Smith when you need him?" It was a throwaway gag, clearly satirical, but Greene seized on it with theatrical outrage. She tweeted that she had contacted Capitol Police and accused Kimmel of threatening violence against her, followed by a parade of media appearances calling him unhinged, dangerous, and a left-wing radical hiding behind jokes.
On our show Tuesday night, MTG, Clan Mom as we call her, earlier in the day, called 3 of her fellow Republicans pro-pedophile for supporting Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's nomination. She tweets. After she saw it, she tweeted, "ABC contacts my employer. This threat of violence against me by Jimmy Kimmel has been filed with the Capitol Police." She called the police. After processing the fact that someone called the police on me, believe it or not, this has never happened to me in my life. I tweeted back, I wrote, "Officer, I'd like to report a joke."
Kimmel wasn't having it. The following night, he opened his monologue with a simple line, "Apparently, I'm now a wanted man." What followed was one of the most unfiltered, unapologetic takedowns ever aired on late-night television. Kimmel called Greene a snowflake in camo and mocked her for pretending to be a warrior against cancel culture while simultaneously trying to cancel a comedian over a joke. He ran a full segment breaking down the hypocrisy, digging into her history of incendiary tweets, conspiracy theories, and inflammatory comments that had gone far beyond jokes and into the territory of real threats. "She says I'm promoting violence?" Kimmel asked incredulously. "This is the same person who chased down Parkland survivors in the streets. The same person who said Nancy Pelosi should be executed for treason. The same person who believes Jewish space lasers cause wildfires, and I'm the one who needs to be investigated." The audience roared with laughter, but beneath it was a biting truth. Kimmel wasn't just mocking Greene, he was exposing the absurdity of her claims and the dangerous double standard she was trying to impose. He played clips of Greene spreading vaccine misinformation, questioning 9/11, and suggesting school shootings were staged. Then he asked a question that hung in the air. If this is the new bar for arrest, should we start building a jail just for her tweets? What made the moment even more surreal was that Capitol Police did in fact acknowledge the complaint and confirmed it was received. That admission set off a wave of backlash.
Hey, you know, all these crazy people in Congress, all of these low IQ individuals in Congress right now, there's one guy who's responsible for that, and that's Donald Trump.
First, new evidence tonight that we, you, the American people, all of us, we were all lied to.
Frankly, we did win this election. We did win this election.
We were lied to by Joe Biden.
Obama, amnesty. Amnesty, Obama, amnesty.
What kind of president needs a no card to answer a basic and predictable question?
Free speech advocates, comedians, and civil libertarians called it a clear abuse of power. Kimmel's critics had often accused him of being too political, but this time, even neutral voices agreed. What Greene was doing felt like intimidation, not accountability. Other comedians began to weigh in. Stephen Colbert offered to post Kimmel's bail. Seth Meyers joked that Kimmel's greatest crime is hosting the Oscars without incident. Even Dave Chappelle, no stranger to controversy, reportedly reached out privately to express solidarity. The comedy world understood what was at stake. If one joke could lead to police involvement, what would come next? Online, the response was equally fierce. Greene was mocked relentlessly across social media. Memes of her calling 911 after hearing a knock-knock joke went viral. Hashtags like Shock Arrest Kimmel and Space Laser Justice trended, but not the way she'd hoped. TikTok users reenacted her complaint with satire and voiceovers, turning her attempted crackdown into a digital punchline. Meanwhile, Greene doubled down. She gave interviews to right-wing outlets accusing Kimmel of coordinated harassment, even suggesting that comedians were part of a broader liberal plot to silence conservative voices. But her performance quickly turned from serious to farcical. During one appearance, she compared Kimmel's joke to mental terrorism, a phrase that even her allies struggled to defend. Back at ABC, Kimmel continued to use his platform not just for comedy, but for pushback. In the days following the complaint, he ran nightly segments titled MTG's Greatest Hits, each one a reminder of the rhetoric and conspiracies Greene had embraced over the years. One night, he pulled up a quote where she called Democrats pedophile Satan worshippers and asked, "And I'm the problem here?" But there was more to Kimmel's takedown than laughter. He made a deeper point. That comedy has always been a tool for challenging power. That people like Greene, who claim to be victims while wielding enormous political influence, are not above critique. He reminded viewers that satire exists to puncture egos, challenge extremism, and reflect absurdity back to its source. The legal path forward was uncertain. Capitol Police made no moves to pursue the complaint seriously. Legal experts dismissed it as meritless. Still, the fact that it had made headlines at all was a chilling sign of how far political grievance could now stretch. In a world where bad faith arguments dominate discourse, even a joke can be weaponized. And yet, for Kimmel, the moment became a rallying cry. Viewership surged. Messages poured in from fans and fellow comedians thanking him for not backing down. What could have been a moment of retreat became one of defiance. He ended his week with a message directly to MTG. If jokes scare you more than your own voting record, maybe the joke isn't me. Maybe it's you. The confrontation reignited broader conversations about the role of comedy in democracy. Should comedians be immune from political retribution? Is there such a thing as going too far in satire? Or is the greater danger in allowing the powerful to silence critique through legal intimidation? By the weekend, Greene had mostly gone silent on the matter. Her complaint fizzled out with no action, no arrests, and no retraction. Kimmel, however, had gained more than just a viral moment. He had reminded the country that free speech, especially the messy, irreverent, inconvenient kind, isn't just a privilege, it's a necessity. In the end, Greene's attempt to criminalize a joke backfired spectacularly. Instead of silencing Kimmel, she gave him a bigger stage. And in doing so, she became exactly what he had always claimed she was: a walking punchline in a country that still knows how to laugh at power, no matter how loudly it tries to roar.